Okay, so we're back, and we're going to be continuing with Chapter 2 in this video. This should be most of the more interesting stuff. I think Chapter 1 was a little bit more of just exploration and discovery and just getting used to the environment, which is pretty hard to convey in 2D. It's just something that you kind of have to experience yourself within VR. So Valve is basically just giving you that tutorial. The other thing that I've done in this video is made the game volume a little bit louder, so hopefully this should turn out a little bit better when it gets exported.
I got a dead zombie here. I thought the Combine sealed up the QZ.
This one must have squirted out. I've heard they've had trouble with barnacle spores outside the containment area, but not about fellas like this.
Probably not a one-off then.
I doubt it.
This is kind of our first experience looking at a zombie, which is pretty grotesque here in VR. I don't know if the same thing is conveyed in 2D, but they have a lot of attention to detail in these character models, like the blood and guts that are spilling out, and just how gory it kind of looks. So we're kind of immediately just taken into this zombie alien world, if you will. Sorry, just adjusting my headset a little bit. I think it's funny because this game actually gives you kind of like the illusion of choice, like, oh, maybe you could go this way, and oh, maybe you could go this way, but you actually can't. The only way that you can go is actually this left direction here. So we're just gonna go a little bit. It's giving us some tutorials, so it's saying like, I can grab this item here.
Would you look at that? Resin. And if there's resin around here, there should be a Combine fabricator. Keep an eye out. We might be able to upgrade your firepower a bit.
So basically, resin is that little cylindrical object, and that is used to do upgrades to your weapons in this game. And we just picked up another ammo here. Let's go ahead and break this lock and roll the barrel down. I'm going to try to do like slower head panning movements as well, because I know that in 2D it can be a little disconcerting if I am kind of bouncing around with the VR setup. So we have this little panel on the wall here.
With my multi-tool.
Your what?
It's a tool with multiple functions. So, you know, multi-tool.
So we're just introduced to this tool here called the multi-tool, and what this allows us to do is kind of just trace the electrical lines to open doors and other gizmos and gadgets within the game, which actually took me a little while to figure out the first time around. But basically, these circle objects are gates, and so when I toggle it and I hit the trigger, it actually just switches it. So it turns it from yellow to blue. Blue means like the line is active, yellow means the line is inactive.
Thinking about the future, Alex.
Well, how about I call it?
And so basically, if I hit it again, it should open the door.
It's a little derivative of the Russells, but yeah, provisionally, sure. The Alex.
Yeah, the Alex.
And then the other thing that's
A health
pretty
station.
cool is like this is actually a health station.
The Combine use these. Are they safe for people?
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're great. Look, honestly, just pull the handle and put your hand in there.
So basically saying that I should just pull the handle and put my hand in this like little health station. The Combine use these, which I actually didn't pick up that note the first time around. So it's interesting to see how many things you can pick up the second time around. But what's crazy is there's this like maggot type object or creature that's green at the end, almost like a kind of caterpillar or slug. And basically this is the fuel for, and so he kind of gets crushed into goop, and that goop gets like fed into my hands with acupuncture needles. So this is like this really gross kind of health
You were right.
pickup here. But the other thing that's cool is this is actually a throwback to the original Half Life sound. So I don't know if you're able to hear that on audio, but it actually use the same audio from the original Half-Life in whenever you were kind of like operating a gadget. It would give you that kind of machine working sound. So that's what it was playing there. So here it's saying that I can actually pick up objects with both hands and kind of throw them out of the way. So that's what I'm going to do. And proceed. So it's at this point the game actually takes a little bit of a horror kind of turn. So you can see these like flashing lights, dark rooms. So that's something that we're going to be seeing here a lot in a little bit, where everything is just really, really dark and you can't really see, exactly what's going on to kind of add to the immersion. It's something that may not quite. Oh. So I was actually just interrupted here. These are what are called barnacles. They're actually a translation from the original Half-Life. So I can shoot them and they'll spit down these guts, which is super gross in this like unique kind of pattern. So you can actually see if I shoot this other one. Looks a little bit different. So yeah, it's going to teach me how to reload. Basically, I eject the mag, and then I have to draw a new one from my backpack, load the gun, and reset the action. Gonna take that. Got another ammo here. Take that. And let's go back to my hands. Move this out of the way. Oops. I'm like running into a chair here. Okay.
How'd you meet my dad, anyway? You guys work together at Black Mesa, right?
Yeah. Well, no. Tricky place to get a job at, actually. I interviewed at Black Mesa. They said try again in a year. I don't need to tell you what happened after that. Lucky break for me, really. Not a lot of survivors. Honestly, it's a miracle you and your dad got out of there.
So here we actually have like a ton of barnacles just like laying around. It's really, really easy to miss these. So they're just kind of these tentacle, tongue objects that are protruding from the ceiling. But if you're not looking upwards, it's actually really, you could easily miss it. You could think it's like a chain or something else, but you actually do get sucked up. I have not actually tried dying to one of these yet, so... but it does actually suck up the items that we want, so we're gonna shoot it so I can get it back. Pick up a resin and another clip. So we're gonna shoot a couple more of these. I don't think that'll... Ew, there's like a skull in there. So I gotta eject. Get another mag. Oh, action. Okay, we got another ammo. Thank you. And then we're just gonna proceed here. I don't want to kill all of them if I don't have to, just because not all of them drop ammo, and I don't want to waste it because later on in the game it actually does become an issue. They really make you kind of conserve... Oh. They really make you conserve the ammo, and adds to that sense of tension of, like, am I going to survive? Am I not going to survive? Because do I have the means to actually survive? Open this.
Do you need a minute? Because, I could pause the feed.
Just looking, Russ.
So what's cool about VR is that everything is kind of just like, instead of just hitting that interact button, you can actually grab things and open things, and it adds to that sense of immersion where this is a garbage can, there's garbage bags in the garbage can. I can actually physically open it, and when I, point my head over, I can look inside. So it just adds to that sense of immersion that they've created in this environment. I'm just going to quickly explore these areas to make sure I'm not missing anything from an items perspective. There's all these resins that are kind of hidden everywhere. You almost think they're like these Easter egg things, but they're actually very important for the game because they do help you upgrade your weapons and such. So it is important to actually find all of the resin within the game if you can, although sometimes they are hidden in some places. So for example, I had to take that block of wood and lift it up to actually access that piece there. So the first time around, I actually had a lot of trouble with this because basically, like, there's this door and we have to get inside. There's like really no other place that we can go within the game at this point. And, you know, if I interact with it, if I push it and I try to move it, it's not going to actually do anything. But what it actually wants you to do is to go in through the window. And I can't really like jump through the window either. So what you kind of have to do here is use that knowledge of lifting heavy objects, pick it up, and kind of just like place it under this window, and then you can jump over and through. So now I'm into the other side, and I can explore what's in this abandoned shack, if you will, or I guess train control station, maybe. So one thing I got to do before I make other videos is really just do a little bit more digging. Unfortunately, I didn't completely forget, but it's been, you know, almost 2 decades since I've played a Half-Life game, and my memory is not serving me well here with remembering all of the different backstories. So I'll take that as an action for next video and do a little bit more research so I can add some color, some more colorful commentary for the next one. So with this, there's actually another health station, but I don't really need it because, as you can see on my watch or my little wrist thing here, I am actually already at full health, so I'm not going to waste the effort there. We do have to interact with this train station object, that's control panel that's opening up here. This is really to remove the blockade. And so we have another kind of puzzle here. So if I bring out my multi-tool and twist, it's opening up this 3D puzzle environment. And so what it kind of wants me to do is, just kind of navigate and match the 2 blue lines. This took me like a second to figure out the first time, is you kind of have to like... There we go.
You know, Russell, now that I'm walking into the quarantine zone, it just hit me. I don't know anything about the quarantine zone.
Well, actually, the word quarantine comes from the Italian 40 giorni, which means 40 days, the period that all ships were required to be isolated before crew could go ashore during the Black Death.
All right. Cool.
That's the control panel. They've probably scrambled the circuit, but considering no one would be dumb enough to open the hatch, it shouldn't be too hard to put back.
So what's weird is that it looks like there's a bunch of dead creatures and animals and brains and stuff that are stuck in these things, and I'm not really sure what that's alluding to. Are these things powering this device, or like what's really going on? But basically... So we just opened this new area,
Through the old subway tunnels on your way to the train
and
yard.
because we can't take the train, we actually have to go back and
We've still got time.
go through the subway.
Or bad news, because they've already killed him. And you don't need to move a corpse, you just bury it. Or burn it. Still there, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just backtracking in this environment here. and we're gonna basically take the subway tunnels to meet up with our dad, who's on another train.
Whoa. Russell, are you seeing this?
Whoa.
All right.
So this environment is basically just like that alien multi-dimensional, kind of thing just opened a rift into whatever planet we're on, and there's kind of just these tentacle-like objects. I feel like you cannot have aliens without tentacle objects for some reason. I don't know. I think we're just, obsessed with phallic symbols here as humanity, but it's, very weird. I guess I can't touch it or interact with it. I think I shot it last time, and I don't think it really does anything if you shoot it, so we're just gonna kind of blow past here. But yeah, it's pretty grotesque. Open the door. Okay, and it looks like it's loading. It's loading the next zone. This is not another chapter. I think this is just another zone. Press trigger to get started. So we're given a few more items.
Hey, Russell. I just found a loose syringe of God knows what. Is this medicine?
Does it have a skull and crossbones on it?
I don't see one.
Probably medicine then.
Okay. This is kind of our first propane experience.
Do you hear that?
What is that? Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the way we gotta go.
No shortcut?
Yeah, that is the shortcut.
So our shortcut here is actually through a barnacle on this like zombie guy who's beating his head against the wall. So let's see if we can shoot him.
Alright, that seemed to work. Let's keep doing that. Oh, just so you know, the Russells have a built-in display that shows you resin, ammo, might come in handy.
Got it. Thanks.
That was really annoying to have to waste 3 bullets on that, even though I shot it. So looks like we're just gonna go through the abandoned subway stations here. I'm gonna just look around to see if there's any items that I'm missing. Let's see. Didn't drop anything. Okay, looks like I got another ammo. I'm just exploring to see if there's anything I'm missing. Just because it's kind of essential that I pick up all the items here just for the sake of the rest of the game. We're going to climb on top, and it looks like there's kind of this chain reaction of propane tanks here that I got to shoot. There's a bunch of barnacles out there in the kind of interleaved here to trap me. So I'm just going to shoot the propane tanks. That should be good enough to actually kill a couple of these. Or maybe not. Oh, okay. So my buddy actually told me this last time. I think what you have to do is have them suck up the propane tank. And then... Oh. I think I just lost some health. So you're supposed to actually have them suck up the propane tank and then it explodes. So that's what he was trying to tell me last time, the first time I did it. But it is what it is. We're just going to tread on here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh. It's a little scary. There's like a head crab dude sitting outside moaning. It's a little disconcerting. Actually, I'm gonna keep my gun out because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna undo this little crowbar situation. Oh shit. Oh. Valve's done like a really good job with the positional audio on this, so you kind of really know where people are coming from. They build the tension. It's a little dark. You always have these like flashing lights in the subway. It creates that like horror kind of atmosphere. I didn't, you know, when I thought back to the Half-Life games of you know, the past, I didn't necessarily consider them like horror games, but I feel like, and I guess they were, but they weren't like that scary. I feel like this one is just on a different level of like, okay, I'm like freaked out at what's happening here. Okay. Okay, let me shoot this guy. Oh. Oh, that's not good. I didn't realize that, like, he would take so many hits to kill. Okay, so he's dead. I'm actually, like, low on health here, I think. I think I only have one heart left, which is not good.
Alex, I think that's a combine fabricator. Put something in it. I want to see how this thing works.
Got it. Will it work on the Russells?
No, but it should fix up that pistol nicely. Good thing, too. I gave you one of my lesser guns.
Thanks, Russell.
Well, you know, in case it doesn't make it back.
Tell you what, Russell. If I die, I owe you a gun.
You owe me a gun anyway. That wasn't a gift. That's my gun.
So Russell's just telling me that I owe him his gun back. I'm just looking and seeing if there's any more resin that I can pull out from the boxes and stuff that's here. I think there is, from what I remember. Let's go around here. Oh, bullets. Nice. Because I don't actually think I have enough at this point. I only have 9. And you need 10 at minimum resin. I feel like maybe I missed something here. So let's go back. Nope, there's nothing there. Let's go back and look this way. Okay, maybe I didn't. That's fine. We'll just keep going forward, and I'll make do with what I have. Let's see. There's ammo here. So somehow this game, I'm finding a ton of ammo and not finding all the resin that I need. So. That scared me, like, again. Like, you get chills down your spine, and even this is like my second playthrough of this chapter, still getting chills like when something is thrown at your face and you don't know what's going on. So I actually don't have ammo, or okay. So we're back, and now I can go, since I have 10 resin, I can go upgrade my pistol real quick. And then I actually probably need some health, but I don't think I can do both. I think I need another resin. But to use this thing, you kind of need to like line up. It's kind of like another puzzle that they make you do. You kind of have to like line up the galaxies, if you will. And what that does is it unlocks the ammo upgrade option. If I go ahead and put my gun in here, it tells me like what I can upgrade. I'm gonna choose the upgrade the sight. Actually, just do a quick time check.
Oh, that really worked,
Awesome.
didn't it? Huh.
Got my health taken care of. And now we're ready to go on more adventure. Just gonna do a double check to see if I didn't miss any of the resin. Looks like there's another one of these dudes, so I'm gonna shoot him using my new sight that I upgraded the pistol with. Although that supposedly did not actually do what it was needed. I feel like this time around, let's see, it says I have 70 bullets. So I think I'm in a much better shape than the first time around, but I don't have enough resin, so I gotta be... Oh. Looks like there's another guy. So what's interesting about Half-Life is they kind of just like throw people to scare you. So, you know, people will be sitting in the corner in the dark and you turn around and all of a sudden you kind of, you know, you get that shock value. So they definitely go for that angle here, which I feel like other games in VR have done as well. Which is a little... Oh. This guy knows how to open a door.
Nice shooting, Alex.
Thanks. You know, for all your talk about what a lesser gun this thing isn't half bad.
I think if it takes like 5+ shots to kill someone, it's definitely a lesser gun in my opinion. So, I'm not going to say I agree with Alex on that one. It looks like there's a bunch of barnacles up here, but notice how they're actually hidden in the dark, so you can kind of barely see it. You are pretty much just noticing the tongue that's coming out here. So let's see. Reload this. Oops. Okay, that's one. Looks like he didn't drop anything, but I might shoot the next one just to see what happens. Okay, nice. So we got a... So actually it looks like my first playthrough, I didn't do it right, because if you kill the barnacles, it actually seems like they drop a fair amount of ammo. So might as well kill them and take the ammo. Okay, that's just a box that's pretty much empty, so we're just gonna go back this way. We already picked up the resin. We can do a quick double take to see if there's any extra resin anywhere else. I don't really see any. You as the viewer can obviously make recommendations as well in the comments. So you kind of have to like rip these wooden plates off the wall. You've entered another hybrid room where it looks like the aliens from another dimension have already taken over. I hear there's some enemies nearby, but we're just not... Oh!
Crap!
I see it.
Looks like they just they're about to introduce us into the head crab. So we've seen them on enemies, and we have not actually seen them in the game itself yet. So... where is it? You can actually hear it nearby, but you don't actually know where it is. So it kind of adds to the...
Where'd it go?
Actually adds to the suspension. So the suspense, not suspension, of the game. And I'm actually breathing heavily here because I have many experiences now with head crabs flying at my face. And in virtual reality, when it comes at you in 3D, it's actually pretty jarring. So just wanted to note that. In 2D, it looks like, hey, you know, there's a head crab flew at you, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But when it's in 3D, and in virtual reality, it's something is covering your face, and it's okay.
Yep, there
looks
it
like
is.
I did
Found
a
it.
pretty good job of killing it.
Probably only one of those.
But yeah, they're pretty much everywhere in this game now. They show up, they come out of nowhere, they come from behind you, and it's really not my favorite part of the game. Like I can hear them coming from the left, coming from the right. So I'm just gonna do my best I can to the best that I can to just grab whatever items I can from here, and then. But like the worst thing is, you want
Okay, two of them.
you wanna grab an item, and then all of a sudden a head crab shows up, or you're in the process of grabbing an item and the head crab shows up. So two, very distinct possibilities that could happen and have happened as I've been playing this game. So you're kind of distracted by one thing in the game, you turn around, head crab, is flying at your face, and it's just not a good situation. So here we're just loading the next zone. Actually, I think this is the right orientation, so I'm gonna turn around again.
Heard anything about Dad,
We're gonna
Russell?
go back into hand
No.
mode and
Radio silence since he got on the train.
Damn it.
Well, the good news is he's probably fine.
How do you know that?
Because they're taking him to Nova Prospect to torture him. That's the torture place. So they're hardly going to torture him before they get there. So he's fine. Logically speaking.
it's interesting because I actually have 50 bullets right now, and I remember the last time I played this chapter, I was actually out of bullets at this point, so I don't know, maybe they patched it or something, but Oh, that was really scary. I have to eject, and hopefully he doesn't have something to throw at me while I'm doing this. Okay. Grab some more ammo. I'm at full health, so I don't need to use the slug to heal, but you can actually kind of break this glass, and then because you break the glass, you can actually go inside the room. Here we got some more ammo, and they actually have like a throwback to a floppy disk in here. This is an old PC CD-ROM and
a floppy disk.
Floppy disk.
We used to store information on them with magnets, if you can believe it.
Huh.
Specifically, 2 micrometers magnetic iron oxide, 3 micrometers barium ferrite, 1.2.
Russell? How do you know all this?
I'm reading it here on my computer. I downloaded the internet before the war.
You downloaded the entire internet.
Most of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're just gonna see if there's anything else that I missed, which I don't think there is in this particular room. So we're just gonna go down. I always have the feeling that I'm missing some resin, but you know, luckily I'm not a perfectionist or a completionist, so it doesn't actually bother me that much. I know for some people they have to find everything. For me, I'm actually okay not finding it. Oh, that's cool. So it looks like a pile of garbage just like lifted up and created this eye kind of symbol here. There's green lightning, and I'm kind of just walking
Russell,
through it.
Are you seeing this?
Possibly. Are you seeing floating garbage?
It looks like it's just cardboard.
Right. Well, it seems harmless.
Yeah. Weird though.
So if I like try to touch it or whatever, it just like falls. Before we move on, I'm going to grab a couple of resins I think that are in this room. I think there's probably one in here as well. Yep. So you always got to check these like boxes because they're always hidden somewhere. I mean, I suppose they have to make the game so that you can actually play the whole thing even if you didn't upgrade. So okay, so we've exited that end of the station and
What is that?
we're on to something new. We're prompted with this puzzle here. And I actually don't think I figured out the puzzle the first time. I kind of just randomly got it. But basically, we have to, in order to open this door here, to move forward to the next area of the game, we have to kind of hit these buttons in the right order. And there's this mural on the wall, so I'll go and kind of explore it for you so you can see. And no, the lightning does not kill you. That was my initial thought, is like, oh, green lightning on the floor, water. If I jump on the crate and go into the water, maybe I'll get shocked or whatever, but no, it's not the case. But they have like this mural which kind of just, I think, is telling the story of the aliens from another dimension and how they showed up, although I could probably look it up and tell you exactly what it's saying, but I can't, you know, explicitly interpret the art. I'm not that artistically inclined, but it's basically like caveman paintings. These like orange boxes and grids actually correspond to the pegs in the puzzle that I just showed you earlier. At the center piece of this mural,
Wait, that one's Black Mesa.
we have like
Somebody
the
spent a
Black
lot of
Mesa
time on this.
piece. So assuming like this is the inception of where the enemies came in. So I'm just giving you a little tour around. Yeah, I actually remember those dogs from... I mean, they're not actual dogs, but they kind of look like dogs from the other Half-Life games. So we're just going to go in here and complete the puzzle. So I actually just learned that sequence from this diagram over there. I guess you could have tried all the combinations or all the ones that are listed there. I kind of just tried a few ones at random and then ended up getting this one. So saving some time for you guys. And now we're kind of in this other, not so much like cave, but still similar like caveman painting style. We can see like the alien eyes and tentacles coming from the walls, diagrams of the barnacles, and that, you know, you might die if you stand on one of the barnacles. These kind of look like the head crabs. Actually, this
Alex,
looks a little bit
you
more like a
alright?
head crab.
What's wrong?
I'm fine, Russell. What's up?
I'm losing your signal. Alex? Alex? If you can still hear me, keep heading in the same direction and try to get above ground.
Russell?
Oh, I think the
Russell?
eye may symbolize the Vortignat, maybe? The environments here are actually like really, really detailed, and especially on the index, I feel like the resolution is a lot clearer than even what I've seen on the Oculus Quest. I think it actually looks a little bit sharper. So yeah, like really, really detailed environments here that you can see. So it looks like I can't really go this way, so I'm gonna have to turn to the left.
Whoa. This is weird.
And it almost, like, this room almost feels like we're kind of underwater because we have these particle effects and kind of jellyfish flying by. But we're, you know, obviously not underwater. It's just really cool kind of effect, and you can see, you know, other what look like fish, but obviously we're not underwater. So it's kind of interesting to think about what these things might be. It's telling me to pull the bell. Whoa.
The Alyx fans. You received my messages.
I did?
Come, enter.
Okay. Thanks.
You are welcome.
So it looks like this guy kind of just stores the head crabs, and
So, what's a Vortigaunt doing here?
I guess he eats them or puts them in stew or something.
Right, but I mean, in general.
That is disgusting.
I have
Absolutely
a
disgusting.
brain injury.
Oh, I'm sorry
My
to...
brain is injured.
That's terrible,
Ow.
and I hope... Look, I'm actually pretty busy looking for my father.
The
Eli
Eli
Vance.
fans. Yes.
The Combine have him, and I really do need to get moving.
The Combine. Yes. Do not go yet. I must show you something.
Look, I appreciate...
This way.
I can't stick around.
It is important.
I know, I'm sure it is.
The Alyx fans must go this way anyway.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess we're following him. I don't really know what this guy is, or I guess the Vortig knots are from the original Half-Life. They look a lot like the aliens from Men in Black. That's my gut, like, first reaction was Men in Black. But I don't know which one came first.
Like the Eli.
Okay, so it looks like he's the one who's channeling, like, the green lightning to
I would help. I
elevate
really
the
would,
trash.
but the Alyx Vance is honestly very busy saving her dad.
You will not save him. He is dead.
What?
Or he will be.
Is or will be?
I hope my dad's not dead.
It is a
Otherwise, I
matter
could just
of
leave
perspective.
and skip the game.
But Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Look, thank you for everything, but I really have to go. And I'm sorry, but I really don't have time for riddles.
No riddles. The Combine drilled here. I am severed from the vortessence. I am alone in my head.
I'm sorry.
So I guess they have their links to the
If
mothership.
I run across your friends, I will see what I can do.
You have saved my kid.
I haven't.
Then you will. Courage, Alyx Vance.
Okay, so he's opening up a pathway for me to travel here. So I'll just give you kind of like one last look at this room, just to kind of admire the view.
You must go.
Yes, thank you. I will go. Like, how these rooms are interconnected is kind of a mystery to me. I don't quite understand it, but I guess I'm not going to complain. Like, it is cool. He just made a
I
star.
will help the Alyx Vance.
Oh, yeah, help me.
Look to the northern star
Why?
for guidance.
Okay, thanks. Are you done helping?
I am not. Here,
Uh-oh.
sustenance.
No.
I'll
Okay,
eat it
well,
later.
At least it fell.
Thanks for the help.
You will be welcome.
So we get some really, really small tunnels and pathways here. The game doesn't make you crouch, which I actually like. I mean, crouching adds to the sense of immersion, but sometimes, like, you did squats and you don't really feel like crouching. Plus, like, you can't really see me on the video when I crouch, so kind of works out both ways. Right now we're just loading another area. Okay. So it actually looks like this is the end of chapter 2. Actually, let me just double check. Yep, so we have just finished chapter 2 and we are now starting chapter 3. So I'm going to make a separate video for chapter 3. So thanks for watching chapter 2. I will link chapter 3 in the next one. Thanks.